Leave. We're joined by U.S. Army veteran Cory Mills. He's helped several people leave Afghanistan as the Taliban has regained power. This as the U.S. State Department insists they are helping those who want to leave while suggesting some want to remain in the country.
We are proud to say that we have brought over 6,000 Americans home, and we remain deeply committed to facilitating the safe transit of U.S. citizens, LPRs, and at-risk Afghans who wish to leave Afghanistan, and we will continue our efforts. We will be relentless in doing so.
Cory, welcome. Is the Biden administration trying to take credit for the brave efforts of you and other veterans groups?
Well, I would say, first off, thank you for having me on to try and cover this. It's very important that we set the record straight here. The in-country State Department efforts by certain bordering countries are certainly trying to do their best. But I think D.C. politics is continuing to try and root its ugly head here and take credit for things that groups like ours basically went forward and conducted. So, you know, I was one of many team members, all former special operations, who was successful in completing the very first overland ground evacuation of Americans since the fall of Afghanistan. And, you know, it was kind of surprising when all of a sudden the first CNN headline was that, you know, the U.S. State Department successfully evacuates Americans when they really didn't apply any efforts until we were at the 99.5 yard.
So I'm curious, as someone who's never done one of these rescue operations, any dicey moments, any nerve-wracking experiences?
Well, quite a bit, actually. You know, at one point, even one of our evacuees, she had a pistol held to her head by one of the Taliban commanders after the State Department insisted that she continue to go back to HKIA and that her name was on the actual list. And another situation which is very unfortunate, you know, the U.S. State Department and the government are reporting that 160 Afghans were killed outside of the Abbey Gate with 13 service members killed. The reality, however, Mike, is that we were in contact with a woman, her 2-year-old son, and her father, all U.S. passport holders, who was outside of the Abbey Gate. And when we were refused landing, because we were actually there to pick her up and 24 other Americans, 5 hours later, the explosion happened, and we haven't heard from her since, and we believe that she was one of the Americans perished.
Are you making any plans to go back and help others?
Absolutely. Our team is currently over there. Again, I'm a member of a brilliant team of individuals who are exceptionally skilled. We actually have an entire list that we have compiled to try and help get out others. I will keep for right now a lot of that confidential, as I do not want to compromise ongoing operations. But we do have goals and aspirations to continue to try and support the Americans that are left over there.
So we've heard from the State Department, initially it was less than 200 Americans still there. Now we're hearing ballpark about 100. Do you have any better sense of the numbers of who's still over there and how many more people we need to get out?
Well, I don't think that the American government truly knows the number that's over there at all. I think that, you know, they're continuing to kind of throw out this arbitrary number to try and diminish the fact that there's many willing Americans who are left behind. You know, this idea, this premise that all willing Americans were allowed to come and leave is just totally false. We had numerous Americans trying to get into HKIA who were denied access. They were told to leave. They were told that they were on. And in one particular case, Mike, we had 4 Americans at the gate. The Taliban commander we had negotiated and talked to said that, hey, if someone even just says their name from across the gate, we'll let them pass. And we went back and forth. Congressman Markwayne Mullin, Congressman Ronnie Jackson went back and forth to get Task Force Afghanistan to say her name, and they wouldn't even say her name to get her into safety and shoved her back out to the Afghan Taliban.
Cory Mills, we thank you for your service, which continues to this day, trying to help innocent people get out of Afghanistan. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mike.